What's up, people? Welcome back to another podcast, Lifted by Life Proof. I'm your host, Tizzy, and today I'm joined by two special guests, Naveed and R19. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
My name is, as you said, Naveed Central.
I am R19, the Gallum Carmel Uncle Desmond is here.
And today we'll be covering two topics, masculinity and men's mental health. So first question, just off the bat, I'm just going to jump straight into the deep end. Guys, what are your thoughts on masculinity?
Do you want to go first?
You can go first if you want. If you're thinking time.
You know, because I'm a real man, so I'll go first. I drink. Now, honest thoughts on men's masculinity, bro, it's too much, man. It's too much. I just feel like men feel as if they have to be dominant in everything, like everything, sports, relationships, like in just generally, you just have to be dominant. And that half of the time, that's not even the case. That's literally not even the case for certain guys. You know what I mean?
My belief is that being masculine, it's about just doing what you want to do and what you want to do in life. Like not caring what anyone thinks. We're always going to be thinking about what people think to an extent, but as long as your life is in order with the way your values are and your principles are and the way you want to do it, and you ain't got the pressure from other people to do what they want you to do, I think that's what masculinity is, isn't it?
It's not giving a crap, bro. Like literally, just being yourself, really.
What do you think the common beliefs are around masculinity? Like when you hear masculinity, what are the thoughts that come into your mind?
Strength. We throw out some words.
Strength,
like being strong.
Yeah, like just being strong, mentally strong.
Yeah, mentally as well.
Because half of the time, like, you know what I mean, certain men are just not strong in their head. They're like show a different show on the outside, but inside they're feeling a different type of way. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just have to be strong inside of yourself in order to, you know, project that to everyone else.
I agree. I think being mentally strong is probably more important than being physically strong.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean, look, there's guys out there who are disabled, right? They've got physical disabilities, they've lost their limbs. They might not be able to be physically strong, but mentally, if they're strong and they can handle any situation, that is being masculine, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
They're trying to be themselves. They're literally trying to be themselves. Either way. Yeah.
What do you think it takes to be a real man? What is a real man?
A man is somebody. Okay, my take on it is, if you are a man, you're masculine, innit? I mean, you've got this, be in touch with your feminine side or whatever, right? A lot of women say that, but I'll be real with you. Like, if you're masculine, you're a man, innit? Like, that's why I don't know if you believe in it or not, but I think there is like a male hierarchy, and you got alpha males and you got guys who aren't alpha males. You know what I'm saying? Men who do what they want to do, and men who don't, and they dictated what society dictates what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Yeah, I just think that, like, just as a man itself, like, just as a meaning as a man, like, instantly your thoughts is, okay, cool, he has to be strong, or he has to be, like, he just has to be a man. I can't explain it. Like, I literally can't. I can't explain it. It's difficult to explain, but like, you just have to be just a man, bro. Like, I mean, even women can be strong as well. Like, to be fair, even women can be strong. Like, there's women out there that's actually stronger than men. Like, mentally, physically stronger than men. And more time, respect to women, because more time, like, you have certain guys out there that walks and leaves their kids. You know what I mean? And then there's women that's raise their kids by themselves.
I
but
agree.
you know what I mean?
Mentally.
Because they're mentally strong, they've done that. They've grown their child. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain guys out there that's successful, and their mum has grown, like, raised them from a child. You know what I mean? And then their dad's just come in the picture when they're back up because he wasn't strong enough or he wasn't masculine enough. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on everything, really.
No, I agree with that. I think when you just put it that way and you're saying about when you're saying it about women who their husbands or boyfriends have left them with the kids. So technically, even though I'm saying someone's going to be strong and that determines if they're masculine or not, it doesn't necessarily mean that, because if women are doing it, that doesn't mean they're masculine by doing that.
Exactly.
So I'm saying.
So just men alone. It's not just men alone that could be masculine. Women can be masculine as well.
They could have that masculine energy.
Exactly.
I
Like
agree
that
with
masculine energy, bro. Like dominance. You know what I mean?
I agree with that, man, 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think, since we're talking about the whole masculinity, it's also a common theme that within like being masculine, it's always been like put as a narrative. You don't show emotion. Like being a masculine man, you're not meant to show emotion, like open up or cry, because it shows that you're like a weak male.
It makes you feel like you're soft.
Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. Like, I literally don't agree with that. If you want to cry tears, bro. You know what I mean? Real men cry. Real men cry.
You're allowed
See
to
that,
show
see
that.
that as a quote. Real men cry. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think I feel like there's certain situations where a guy can or can't. That's what I believe. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Okay, look. So for example, okay, a father as a strong individual shouldn't cry in front of his kids because he's their backbone. For example, even though life's hard, right? I'm not married, I'm not kids. If I have kids, even if I'm going through a hard time financially or emotionally, I will never show my kids that, because I want my kids to be able to see me as their backbone. So if for example, okay, look, even though crying, yes, men will cry. If I'm in a mate and I'm having a bad situation, I'm crying for a mate, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if I'm in front of someone who I need to be the strength for, so even if I'm with a girl, for example, right, I want them to see me as strong, because if you see me crying, you might feel that I'm not strong enough to be there for you when you're crying. Does that make sense?
I get what you mean, but at the same time, like, that has a massive effect on the majority of the males' mental health nowadays.
Yeah, right.
Literally, because of stuff like that, like, oh, we feel like we can't cry, or we feel like we can't do certain things because that's not masculine enough.
Yeah.
Like, it affects us mentally, you know what I mean? And then we go through our own stuff and then we don't tell nobody. That's why there's so much men that kills themselves, or there's so much men that go through so much stuff. You know what I mean? But because women are supposed to be like not masculine, they can cry, they can do whatever they want, they can do. But there's women out there that's actually masculine that cries and does what they want. You know what I mean? So men, I say men can cry as well. That's why I say men can cry as well. Like, release if you have stress and you're crying, release that shit, bro.
Do you not think there's a... Sorry.
Yeah, no, do you think?
Do you not think there's like a... Like, what is it again? Like, the way I say it is, I said a certain time in a certain place, around certain people. Do you not agree with that? Do you think, forget it, just in front of anyone?
Nah, like...
So would you cry in front of a girl, like, that you're going out with?
Like, nah...
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, though?
I get what you mean, yeah. It's different, though. Like, if it's a girl that you're in a relationship with, yeah, it's cool to cry around her. Like, you can cry in front of her. That's not that deep. If it's like what you're saying, your kids, like, you don't want to show them, you don't want to show them weakness, right? You don't want to show them weakness, but you don't want to also not show them that they can't open up to you and tell you certain things. You know what I mean? Because your son, say for example, we're not going to talk about your daughter, for example, yeah? So we're going to talk about sons. So say for example, you're not crying in front of your son, you're not showing your son any form of emotion, you're just tough in front of your son. How do you think that's going to affect his mental health when he grows up? Like, it's going to affect him, like, it's going to affect him differently, because he's going to think, oh shit, rah, I can't do this because my dad when I was younger, Ray Tay Tay. And then at the same time, it leads on, because it just goes on through generations, because it just goes on to their next kids, or their next kids, or their next kids, and it's a cycle that keeps on going on. You know what I mean? And it never ends. So if you're able to open up and show, yeah, cool, men cry too, you can cry as well. You get what I mean? You can talk to your son, you can have conversations with your son if you make a connection with him. But you don't want to show him any form of like weakness at the same time. But at the same time, you don't want to show him that he can't release his emotions, because it's going to affect him when he gets older.
Okay, so yeah, you know what? I do agree. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the situation you're crying about, though. So, for example, like if someone dies, so even though I said I wouldn't cry in front of my kids, if someone died, who was like my family member died,
They're gonna see that.
they're gonna see me crying.
Yeah.
So they might see it in that situation, but then again, someone might not ever die in front of them, right? Yeah. But in terms of, I don't know, like, just my perspective is, I don't know, I couldn't cry in front of my kids just because I'd want to be that backbone. It's like, for example, like, you know, everyone gets scared at some time in life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I wouldn't want to show my kids that I'm scared in a situation. Even if I am, I wouldn't show them that. Now, it's fine to be scared.
I
You know what I mean?
get what you mean by that. Like, you don't want to show them, oh, cool, that I'm scared. I'm like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you're supposed to be able to show them emotion, like, oh, cool, look, it's cool that you can speak to me, like, wherever, you can speak to me, I've been there, I've done that, you know what I mean? Let them know that you felt like that as well. But if you're not showing that, or you're not letting them know, they're gonna feel some type of way, and they're gonna grow up with all of that, and it's just gonna have a massive effect on their health, you know what I mean? Like mental health, mentally and stuff like that.
It's interesting what you're saying. Maybe guys are like this. Maybe that's why guys are like this. When it comes to that, shouldn't cry here.
That is why it's solely why men are like this.
Yeah, I hear that.
Like you have guys cool. You have guys that grew up with just their mum, and cool. They've been called a mummy's boy. They're called a mummy's boy, but they're trying to be strong for their mum. You know what I mean? Their mum's being strong for them mentally, looked after them on her wants, and their dad's not been in her life. You know what I mean? So you can't call a man a mummy's boy, bro. Obviously, he's gonna be a mummy's boy. If his dad's not there, it's very obvious.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's very obvious he's going to be a mummy's boy. Like, but at the same time, he has to be there for his mum. His mum's raised him a certain way, so he's gonna act that certain way. You get what I mean? Doesn't mean that he's weak or he's not strong or whatever. He's just gonna act that because that's what the environment he's growing into.
Now, I fully understand that. I think that's where, like, I can agree, but at the same time, I still wouldn't cry for my kids. I couldn't do it. And it's just a principle I've got. It's like, for example, I don't know, think about anyone who you see who is strong in your life.
Yeah.
Right? Anyone who you see as you see them as strong. Even if you were in trouble, for example, and you needed to call someone, right? Are you gonna call someone who you've seen in a weak position? I know crying does make someone weak sometimes. Or you're gonna call someone and you think, okay, this is the most serious mother who I know, yeah? And I'm calling this person because I'm in this minor problem. Does that make sense? Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I see as you wanna be that strong person, especially when it comes to my family. You want to be that strong person that they can think, yo, hold up, this guy can handle anything, right? I might not be able to handle nothing. Nothing can knock me. You know what? This person, nothing can knock him. I'll call him because of the person. But if you're seeing someone crying, I think, oh, you know, I don't know, man.
At the same time, I see it as this. I see it as this.
Do you know what I mean, though?
I get your point. 100%. I get your point, and I agree to a extent. Like, with my parents now, my dad, he would tell me that he loves me all the time. My mum, once in a while, rarely. You get what I mean? And my mum's always showing dominance. But at the same time, I've seen both of them cry. In certain situations. You know what I mean? They both show me the emotion. But my dad just shows me more emotion. But I respect my dad more because I know what kind of guy he is. I know what he's on. You get what I mean? My mum, I respect my mum because she's grown me, she's raised me, she's my mum. You know what I mean? She carried me for 9 months. You know what I mean? So I respect both of them at the same level. You know what I mean? And I also respect my dad for, you know what I mean, showing emotion because it helps me understand life a bit more, where he explains and goes about stuff. You know what I mean? So I look at it as that because I've experienced both worlds. You know what I mean? I've experienced both worlds from each parent. So I get what you mean. But then there's the other side of me that I've seen and I'm just like, okay, cool. My dad, he's different. My mum, she's different. But they're both the same people. You get what I mean? Like, they're both the same people, and that's why they was together.
And I hear that. You know what it is? I think we've had different upbringings. Because I haven't seen my dad in that situation, yeah? So maybe because I haven't seen him, I don't know how it feels. Does that make sense? And because you say it makes someone be closer to someone, maybe that is the case, but I don't know. I can't argue on that one. I mean, I can't.
Do you not feel like, cool? Do you feel distant from your dad at some times, like growing up from till now?
Yeah, but my dad was always busy and stuff like that, and so exactly. you can't say that. Yeah, you can't say that.
Like,
I agree.
So cool. With my dad now, he's always made time for me. Where in the sense that, cool, he's doing his thing. He's always working. He's always doing his thing, but he's made time for me because I grew up in Jamaica with him, so I was there. So when he wake me up at 5 a.m, cool, we're going out to tie goats. Even if I don't want to do, I like now when I look back at it, I cherish those moments because it's like, bro, he showed me stuff that I would have never learned.
Yeah, I hear that, yeah.
You know what I mean? From anyone else, and he showed me all of that stuff. He's brought me to the beach. He's brought me to tie up goats. He's showed me how to milk cows, how to kill goats, how to kill chickens, and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? He showed me all of that manly stuff. So I know that my dad has that manly side.
Yeah,
and I know that he has that emotional side as well, where he can show you. You get what I mean? And my mum also has that. You get what I mean? So it's just like I appreciate those moments, and I feel close to my dad. And I feel close to my mum at the same time. So I'm close to both parents, and I respect my dad for that because at the same time, he still made time for me.
I hear that.
I just think it's just a thing where if your emotions are different towards your kids, you raise your kids differently. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
That makes sense, yeah. I think obviously totally different upbringing. I think that's what it goes down to.
That's right. That's why this podcast is perfect because we're both from different worlds.
It's got that contrast. So you have from both perspectives.
Yeah.
Like my mom, when a single mother, but it was as if she was because my dad was always, you know what I mean?
Like
yeah?
he was there, but he wasn't.
He
type
wasn't.
of thing.
Like, don't get me wrong, I was like the favorite when I was younger, so my dad still showed me love on that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But apart from that, now, like what you're saying in terms of goats and stuff, doing this and that. But one thing about my dad was that what I did see in my dad was that he was just a quite popular person. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
he had friends in like Pakistan who were like judges and stuff. So I went to Pakistan with him. Saw that we're sitting in the judge's car, etc., going places. Like wherever we're going, oh, your dad's a sick guy, your dad's a cool guy, or whatever. That's what like people are saying to me. But apart from that, I didn't really get that.
To see it, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I didn't
My
see
dad-
what was cool about him. I don't know what's cool.
Yeah, you didn't get that.
You know what I mean?
With my dad, I'm seeing that. Like I'm seeing it firsthand.
Yeah, you've seen it firsthand.
He showed me, he's like, look, son, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. And if I don't do it right, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Slap. Okay, cool. Even when my dad, my mum and my dad's beat me, bro. Like I look back at that, I'm like, raw. I used to be a stupid kid. Like I used to be bad. I used to be very bad. But I respect that I was put in my place because now it's made me the person I am today. You get what I mean?
I'm
So
from an Asian household. I got beat up as well.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying
Back in the shoe was often.
everyone in their cultures has different forms of punishment. You get what I mean? So I'm not saying anything. I know that you've defo been under the belt or you defo been under the shoe.
I'm not gonna get into that. Should we beat up kids?
We're not gonna get on that.
That's a nice topic for another podcast.
That's different.
This leads me on to my next point. 'Cause I liked how you touched on the whole, like previously we were talking about women also kind of need to have that they can have that masculine trait as well. But do you think men should have more leadership skills? And like, what do you think?
Yes, I agree.
I think it could be 50-50, you know.
Why? Why do you
say
say
I'll
that?
tell you what I think.
Why I say it could be 50-50, yeah. Cool. I'm not saying that men and women are equal, yeah.
Yeah.
They're equal, but in different ways.
Okay,
You
how,
know what I
what
mean?
ways?
Like, alright, cool. You want, alright, cool.
Yeah,
We're about to get Andrew
go,
Tate
go,
talk here. We're about to get the Andrew Tate talk here.
Free Top G.
So listen, yeah. So like, say for example, men's strength and women's strength is two different things. Men's strength is completely different to. Alright, cool. Let me show you football as an example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Women's football and men's football is completely different. Men and women cannot play in the same games as football, so you cannot call them an equal. Because men we're naturally better. We're naturally going to be better physically, better. You get what I mean? But mentally, women will be better in certain other things. You get what I mean? So it's just a bit of difference in different ways. You know what I mean?
Did you mean leadership in terms of the relationship, or do you mean in general?
Both. I want to see if there's a contrast
In
between the two.
relationships, I think it should be.
The man, I think,
I
yeah.
think it should be like both. Well, actually, in a relationship, I think it should be the man.
The man.
Realistically.
That's what I was trying to say.
But like in some relationships, it can be 50-50.
It's just that, you know, okay,
Both feet in one jeans. You know what I mean?
I've learned something now, for example, yeah. This is through trial and error, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you go on dates or whatever, and you realize, and you reflect on them, and you think, okay, what went right, what went wrong, right? So, for example, yeah, this is what I've learned throughout time, right? Yeah. Not that every girl's like this,
Yeah.
but any girl I've spoken to about this has said it's true, and there probably are girls who it doesn't work with, but I reckon it does. Okay. So, for example, when I was a bit younger, I'd go on a date and they'd say, "Oh, where do you want to eat from?" I'd say something like, "Oh, it's up to you." Or where do you want to go? "Oh, it's up to you. We can go there, maybe do this, right?" But what I've learned is girls like to be led. So, for example, me as a guy, if I've already set everything up and I already know exactly where we're going, oh, we're going here, we're doing this, we're doing that, girls just find that way easier, right? And it just makes the. Cause I feel like girls want that. Like, even though it might be like a masculine energy girl, like she might be a businesswoman, she might be doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
When she goes on a date with a guy, or she's going out with a guy, she wants the guy to be
The leader.
The leader. So we're doing this, we're doing that, everything's sorted, bam. Like, we're going for dinner at 8 o'clock. Like, stuff like that. Does that make sense? Like, they like to hear that. I'm not saying every girl's like that, but.
But it's
you
like
know,
that with
yeah.
the man, though. Like,
Yeah.
girls is like, cool, man, where we gonna go eat? Alright, cool, KFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Girls is like, I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no.
It's up to you.
I
You
That's what I'm
need to
saying.
do- I need to go do this. I have this. My nose appointment. I have a hair appointment at this time. My name is bare simple. I think guys are just more simple than girls, realistically.
I feel
You know what
like
mean?
girls are
Straight
very
to the point.
indecisive, a lot of them.
Yeah, we're straight to the point.
Yeah.
Straight, as you said, straight to the point. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So do you think, like, as a man, do you feel like women would look at you less masculine if you didn't lead, if you didn't make decisions for them? Like, if you move more like how a woman would and be like, "Oh, I don't know," or you ask them, "Oh, what do you want to do?" do you think you're looked at less?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So
And then
men,
if they do go out with you, you end up cheating and you're leaving you for someone else.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Straight, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like they're gonna find you boring if you go. Certain girls are like, so every girl is different, and every female is different. Let me not say girls because there's women, girls, women, females. So I'll say females, innit?
Yeah.
I respect, but every female is different. Every female has their different forms of how they want things and how they want things. But majority of them are just like, cool. You need to be dominant, but they're not gonna tell you. They want you to lead.
they expect you to just
the
know
way.
it like
Yeah, they expect you to
like
know
that.
it naturally.
Yeah.
Because you're naturally a man. They're expecting you to be a leader, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the family, who's the leader of the family? The man.
Man in the house.
But
But now they're trying to,
know what
now
I
they're
mean?
changing that. It's different. Now they're trying to,
like,
now
a
they're
woman can be a
changing it.
leader as well. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
but more time it's, even if the dad's not in the picture, it's more time than you that's the leader of the
Yeah.
house, you know what I mean? Well, not the leader in that like sense of that, but like the protector,
Yeah.
the protector of the house. The mom's the
Responsibility.
guidance and the breadwinner, but the son's always seen as the protector.
Protector.
You know what I mean?
And that's why me, like, for example, I haven't got kids or anything like that. Yeah, but God willing, I will have one day, like, when I'm married or whatever. But the thing is, in terms of like family, yeah, I've always said like, okay, I could have a daughter first, so I'd still be happy.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'd prefer, like, the perfect thing would be if I had sons and boys and girls, I'd prefer the boy to be older than the girl,
So you
right?
can, like, look
so you
after
can
the
protect
sister.
and look
Yeah,
after.
yeah,
do you know
look
what I mean?
after sister, yeah, I've always said that. I've always
And that's how I see it. But obviously, having said that, if I do end up having a girl first, I don't want her to see this and think, damn, dad don't like me. You know what I'm saying?
more
But-
time.
yeah.
Even like the youngest sons will look after their sisters, look after their moms. You know what I mean? Like it's just normal. Like it's completely normal.
Depending on the age
What,
you've got
take
going
care of
on.
my sister, innit? Like, what, you chat to my sister? Yeah, say no more. Shut up, bro. Be like, two. Nah, I'll box you up. I'll actually box you up. Yeah. It gets like that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So do you think with also like as a man having leadership skills, it comes with more accountability? Like men should be held more accountable for certain things. Like you think it comes with more responsibility? Because if you're leading and you're the one that makes the decisions and you're having that masculine role, do you think men need to take more accountability? Because I feel like women try and project that more. Like as men, they expect us to take accountability for a lot of things, but we're the ones that are making those decisions. Do you follow?
That's a funny thing to say actually.
What do you think? What are your
Because
thoughts on that?
society nowadays have changed. Like every year, new gen, everything changes. You know what I mean? Like everything's new. So with this time, like this day and age, people are like, oh, cool. We don't need men. We don't. You know what I mean? I'm a bad bee. I don't need girl. I don't need a man to do this for me. I'll do that for me.
Independence.
You know what I mean? If stuff goes down, basically, like the female's gonna be like, oh, blame it on the man. Like the man's this, the man's
Yeah.
that, man's this. But you said you didn't need us. You didn't.
You don't need us, but if someone's gonna come in the building in your house at
You look to the man to be.
at 3 in the morning and you
exactly.
say
You don't need
and you
us.
hide behind your wife
Oh, babe,
and say
protect me.
you're the female you're the alpha female
Exactly.
go protect me. She's gonna look at you
It's a
like
bit of a double standard.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you're not gonna. Yeah, exactly. What you said. You're not gonna push a female. Oh my god, there's a man in the house. Come on
Boy,
now.
it don't
Come
work
on
like
now.
that.
Here's the baseball bat, one take it off fire. You know what I'm saying?
So I think it's kind of like it's a bit of a hypocrisy because it's like
Society.
they want it
Society.
they want it when it suits them. Like
Yeah.
they'll put on this when it feels suited to their needs. So it's kind of a bit of a funny one there.
It's a sticky one, isn't it? Like
The sticky one. You know what I mean? I'm all good. I'm not gonna say that.
I'm not gonna-
mad. You know what I mean?
I love women. You're amazing. Thank God that you're here on this earth. But yeah, I do feel like you need to be protected sometimes by men, and that's because they care.
I agree. I
That's
agree.
it. That's the way I'm gonna put it.
Yeah, just leave it as that. That's the best way. That's the best way you could.
So do you think economic status matters as a man? Basically, do you think you need to be coming with big P's in order to be
You answer
a
first,
real man?
I'll give my answer.
What situation though? In every situation or what?
As just in general, as a male, as a man, do you feel like you need to be wealthy in order to be a real man, have money, a good amount of money?
I think it depends on the situation. Me being a big dreamer, I'm a big believer in financial freedom. I've got big dreams. The reason I create my content, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because my dream is to be financially free one day, right? I studied law at uni. I realized, you know what? This ain't gonna get me financially free. I'm a man with a dream. I'm trying to chase that dream, and I want to be made. Yes, you know, I want to be in a situation where I can wake up in the morning and go wherever I want. For example, I want to wake up in the morning and, you know, I don't. Being homeless when I was 17 for a few months and living in a hostel is that I got to experience that shit part of life, right? And I realized something: money don't make you happy. It only makes you more of what you are already. But if I can be in a situation where I'm fully financially free, I don't have to answer to no one. I don't have to rely on no one. I can go wherever I want around the world, stay wherever I want, drive what I want, do what I want, and no one can tell me I can't do something unless it's morally wrong, right? I do believe, I'm not saying you're not a real man if you haven't got money, but I do feel like we all have a duty to at least try and get to that stage. If you're at the end of your life and you didn't get there, but you know in your head you tried to do it and you tried your very best, gave it 100%, you know what? Hats off to you. But if you didn't even try to get there, like, I feel like you just wasted your whole, like, bloodline. That's what I believe. Anyway. That's what I believe in it. I don't know what your opinion is, but yeah, that's what I believe.
You said everything pretty much for me. But, I must say, like, for example, if you have money, if you have money as a man, you can do what the hell you want to do. Like, you can be free. Like, you can be free. Like, this is like, I'm not sure if this is a fact or not, but in my opinion, it's a fact, innit? This is how I see it. Like, if you have money, if you're a man, you can say whatever you want to a female. You can do whatever you want with a female. Like, that's how I see it nowadays. Men with money, men in power right now with money, they're rolling with the hottest girls, the hottest chicks. They're disrespecting them to their face, and they're still with them. Why? Because they have money. You get what I mean? Like, because they have money. So money's the root of all evil. That's how I see it. Money's just the root of all evil. Like, you can do what the hell you want, bro. You can say what the hell you want. You can get any female you want as long as you have money. But there's certain females out there that have enough respect for themselves to say, look, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. You ain't gonna treat me like that. I don't need your money. I don't care about money. That's not why I'm here. But there's females out there that cares about money so much that they will stoop so low and take so much disrespect from males or do the most grimiest stuff just to get money. You get what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've seen the incident going out in Dubai and they're taking, females are taking money, flying over to Dubai and getting shit in their mouth. Yeah, really? I mean, shit on, like literally shit in their mouth.
Yeah, they get paid
just for money, but they're getting bread. But you're making next man shit in your mouth.
That's disgusting.
You have make next man shit in your mouth.
That is disgusting. Yeah.
That is wild. That was wild. Just for money. Just for money. Like, have respect for yourself, bro. Like, but there's certain people out there that does stuff for money. That's mad. It's mental. Like, you know what I mean? But if you have money, you can do what the hell you want to do.
You know what? It's interesting you said this.
Yeah.
I remember once. I met this girl now. A very beautiful girl. Listen, like she had like blonde hair, blue eyes, whatever. Like, nice body. She's working in a high-end store, and I was just trying to. So she saw me, and she said, "I've seen you online, blah blah blah." Right, listen to this though, So I said, yeah. So she's kind of flirting with me at the same time, and she's gone, yeah. You know, I said, yeah, so cool. I said, yeah, you can connect on, follow me on Instagram if you want. She goes, yeah, cool. She goes, but just to let you know, I've got a boyfriend. So I thought, let me know. So I okay, hold up. No. But listen, so this is why I'm saying it. So okay, hold up. So I'm like, yo, okay, you got a boyfriend, okay, interesting. So I thought, let me try my little thing. I go, you know what? Yeah, but how do you know is the one I've been in many relationships? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're the one and they're not the one. Do you know what I mean? Like this, that, blah blah. And she's gone. He's not the one. I said, what do you mean? She goes, no, but he just does what I need him to do. I go, what's that? She goes, give me money. I go, so what? You don't want to marry? She goes, no. She goes, I just like the fact that he sorts my life out and gives me money and this and that. And I'm there thinking in my head, you're telling me straight that you do not like this guy that much. You don't think he's the one, but you're with him, right? Just because he's got money. And she said he has passwords to my Instagram and all this and that. So you're giving him all this, even though you don't like him that much, just because he's got money. And I'm there thinking,
bro.
It don't make sense to me?
Soldier soul.
Do you know what I mean?
Soul, man. It happens. Like, it's literally like that with musicians as well. They sold their soul.
It's mad.
Like that, like.
And she was honest about it. Like, imagine someone saying that.
They're not even hiding no more. Like, it used to be a thing where, like, they're not. But now it's like they're proud to say it type of thing. It's like.
And it's like, society has made it so normal, like it's become such a norm, just to be confident and say, yeah, look, I'm a porn star, or I do this for money, or I do that for money, bro. Like, no shame to porn stars, no shame to OnlyFans models, but are you not thinking like, what's my parents gonna say about this?
Shame mean.
You know what I mean?
Parents take the money, they want the money nowadays. Look at what, like,
But at the
certain people.
At the same time, bro, like, you have your parents, you have siblings, you have all of that. Like, bro, it's America, innit? Like, I saw this thing on Twitter, innit?
Yeah.
And it was like a guy, he was getting bullied in school because his sister's a porn star. And he messaged them and was like, look, guys have seen you at school and they're always sending me like airdrops of your videos and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And she's just like, what was my job? What do you expect me to do? She's just laughing and like taking it for a joke. You get what I mean? But at the same time, she's ruining her brother's reputation in school, and it's probably affecting him like mentally or whatever. You know what I mean? But that the fact that he's getting bullied in school because my sister's a porn star. Bear man know my sister. Bear man beats off my sister. You get what I mean? Like, but this is in America though. This is not here. Like, this is America.
But it's interesting what you're saying. Like, that kid goes and commits suicide.
Exactly. Because what? He's getting bullied because his sister's a porn star. Like, come on now.
I think when people do all this, they should still at least take into account the people around them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, okay, each to own, do what you want to do. You want to do OnlyFans, you want to be a porn star, whatever. But at the same time, if you've got your family members, right, who are going through that mental health issue, and your brother's saying to you, listen, people are bullying me, right, about this, maybe it's something to take a step back and think, hold on 1 second. Like, what, do you value money more than your family, right? Yeah. If your brother was to die tomorrow because he killed himself, what are you going to still be happy? Oh yeah, but I'm making money though, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's where people have to draw that line and think about it. Obviously, if your family are cool with it and you're fine with it, I don't know, hats off to you and your family. Do what you got to do, but if it's causing like these mental health issues or problems around your family, I think that's something. That's being selfish. That's what I'm saying.
It's just different, bro. Like,
selfish.
Your family may accept what you do, or whatever. I know my family won't. My family will accept that.
If I even got,
you know what I mean? That's haram, bro. That is mental. Like, that's wow. That's something outrageous.
That's haram.
You know what I mean? That's that's haram. It's something it's outrageous, bro. Like, have like some decorum. Have some respect for yourself. You know what I mean? Have some actual respect for yourself, because most girls and most guys nowadays don't have no respect for themselves. They don't care about nothing. Like, it's not like, cool, with us, man. You do wild shit, I do wild shit. We go out, we do stuff in public. Cool. Yeah. That's not stuff. That's not wild stuff. Like, on camera, you're doing a madness on camera. Like, you're on camera. You go. What I mean, us, man, we're shameless. Cool. We're doing our little videos and stuff, but that's nothing that can affect.
It's not damaging.
Family.
You know what I mean?
Damaging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not damaging to my family's name. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? So it's just different, bro. Like, everyone grew up different. Your family may accept you. That's how your family raised you. You know what I mean? My family is different. My family never raised me that way. They raised me the proper way, how you should be raised, how a normal person should be raised. Nowadays, all of that stuff, it's a norm.
Okay, I've got a confession to make you. No.
This don't sound good.
No. You know what? You got to be strict about it, because I figure if you're not strict about it, people will end up posting that shit later and saying, oh, why am I saying this?
Taking out of context.
So I did a prank video, yeah?
Yeah.
A prank, right? Nothing was actually happening, right, yeah? But there was a girl, right, yeah, in the video, and it looked like she was giving me a head or whatever, yeah? But you couldn't see any private parts. You couldn't see any private parts, nothing like that, yeah? Okay. Now that video, must have put it on my Snap, only had 1,000 followers at the time, right? It was on my Snap story or Instagram story, only 1,000 followers at the time, right, yeah? Now, but this is what comes into what consideration. I'm Muslim, number one, I shouldn't be doing anything, even a prank or joke, anything like that. But at the time, I was just like, anything, this seems funny, let's do it, yeah? Then, had family members calling me, etc., saying, listen, what the fuck's going on? I had my auntie saying, listen, if you ever...
No, the aunties.
If you ever...
WhatsApp group.
If I ever see anything like that again, I'm never going to talk to you. That family saying to me, I'm never going to talk to you, blah, blah. And at that point, I realized, shit, I messed up. Even if it was a prank, whatever, jokey video. At that point, I realized, oh, look, family, what the hell am I doing, right? I never thought just about myself. I thought, hold up, that was a selfish move, because it's not just about me now. People are going to my family or my mom or whatever, and my dad or whatever, and telling them, look, this video's going around, right? So But I've got to confess about that because there was a video going around about that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are trying to repost it on TikTok, yeah, and saying so. I think that's what it comes down to. That's what I'm saying. If, for example, if you're doing something and then you realize it's harming other people around you,
You gotta think about that.
what you're selfish if you don't, you know. And that ain't a prank. If you're actually going out there and you all having sex on camera, doing stuff like that, yeah.
That's not a prank.
It's not a prank, is it? It's
Shit
just
I do on
real
camera,
life.
shit I do on camera is wild, but to an extent. You know what I mean? To an extent. Like
Boundaries gotta be set.
I've done videos with females in it. I've done videos with guys in it, but it's to an extent. You know what I mean? If it's a joke, you know it's a joke.
Yeah.
But if it's something mad
Yeah.
on camera, different. Cause my mom gets involved in my videos. I'm not gonna lie, my mom does get involved in my videos. I do have a lot of videos with my mom, and they do well.
Yeah, I
you
hear
know
that,
what I mean?
yeah.
So it's just like my mom supports me, my dad supports me from America, my whole family supports me. It's just that now I've just had to level down on the swearing because they're just like, look,
Yeah, it's a bit.
To get to the next
it's
level,
too
like,
much. You know what I mean? So that's come down here now. So kind of calm down for the swearing in my videos, but other than that, it's nothing too major. No, it's nothing too mad.
Next topic. Since I don't. Before I even move to it, I got one more thing I want to add with the whole masculinity thing.
Yeah.
Getting women. Do you think now, as a man, as a modern man, do you think getting women or being found attracted by many women or sleeping with a lot of different women, does that make you more of a man?
When a guy can get beautiful girls, it's impressive, right, to other guys because, especially straight guys, because they're looking and thinking, you know what, like,
Should I be like you?
yeah, like, and you know what, there's nothing wrong in that, but what he was saying before, money does play a factor in that, you know what I mean?
Money is
Yeah.
a real talk. But at the same time, I've seen some dusty ass guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With
Yeah,
no money, but have game.
game, yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have to respect that. When a man has game,
Yeah.
like he has that swag,
Yeah.
different type of sauce, you have to respect that. Like you have to respect that because bro, you know that you on the outside you're an ugly person or you're a dead person to some other people.
Yeah.
But if you have that game where you can get a girl to actually get to know the person who you are,
Yeah.
they're going to like you. You get what I mean? So you just have to put the respect on a life for certain man. You know what I mean? I think back to the question where you asked, I do think like it's to a certain extent it does like show masculinity, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does show masculinity. If you
It's like, we are going to speak about this guy in a bit, but he speaks about, okay, Andrew Tate, for example, yeah? Okay, I'll just mention this, okay. We are going to speak about him.
What's words? Bugatti.
The thing about Andrew Tate is he said something. He said, okay, he went to a meeting, right, Bugatti meeting, right, because the car owners of Bugatti or whatever, they have certain meetings. And he goes, when I went there, I weren't the richest guy in the room. They were billionaires, they were whatever, etc. They have a lot more money than me. He goes, I think he walked in with two beautiful girls, right, yeah? He goes, they're like models, etc. And he goes, when I walked in, he goes, who was the richest guy in the room? Him, right? He goes, why? Because older men around tend to respect this guy because they're thinking, whoa, how is this guy now? If he walked in with two, like, average looking girls, not that I'm saying that every girl should be judged based on their looks, but if they weren't as model-esque as he described them, he probably wouldn't get that room's,
That respect.
That respect, yeah.
Everyone,
But if you walk in with, even if I come in here, with what, two models, everyone's gonna be looking at thinking, bloody hell, okay, there must be something about this guy. Even girls, even if they're not attracted to a guy physically, or they wouldn't usually be, if they see him with a beautiful girl, have you ever been with a beautiful girl and other girls are looking at you? You know, other girls are just randomly looking at you.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking there must be something about this guy for this girl to be with him. And I think that, so sometimes girls can add that value to your life as well, and it does give that bit of respect, but it depends on the attraction level as well, yeah. How attractive they are.
How attracted they are?
Yeah, it matters. Do you agree?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does, man.
So does the number, does the quantity, does the number matter?
No.
So if it's a higher number, does that make you any more or less of a man?
If I've had 100 average-looking girls and he walks in and he's only got one girl,
Yeah.
even if it's his wife and she's one of the most beautiful
one
girls in the world.
One girl could mean more than 1,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You got what I mean? One girl can mean more than 1,000 girls, bro. Like it gets like that.
Yeah.
Like there's girls out there. Like for example, my girlfriend, she means a lot. You got what I mean? Like no girl can mean anything.
Yeah.
Like now that I'm doing the social media thing, you're obviously gonna get attraction by girls. You're gonna get attention from girls. You know what I mean? And here and there, but none of them don't mean anything to you. Can't mean anything to me, bro. Because at the same time, you have that one person who's just like important to you. You got what I mean? Who's there for you, who sees you when you're going through your struggle and shit. So it's just like, like at the same time, it's good to have. Cool, you can have your multiple girls or whatever, but realistically, what are you gonna do with them? What personalities do they have other than their looks?
You know what, right? And you know, sometimes you want that one. Like that's what I think everyone searches for. Like even the guys. So I don't know. Well, not every guy believes in settling down or whatever, but I think majority, even the ones who act like they don't, they actually do. Like there is no even though there might be fun in having sex with loads of girls, at the same time you do. Why would you not want to be like? Why would you not want to find someone who loves you? Like, does that make sense? Like, I remember someone saying it, an older guy when I was younger, and he said to me, he said, look, okay, it is important that you love someone. He goes, but what you really need in this life is, he goes, someone who loves you, right? Because that's when you're certain and know in your head, yo, this person loves me. Do you get me? Like, it's good. That's what you need. You need a good ride or die girl. You know what I'm saying? Like that Bonnie and Clyde shit, like Jay-Z, Beyonce kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think. Would you agree?
Yeah.
It's facts. That's all of it. He said it all.
So taking all this into consideration, how do you think this all now translate into men's like mental health, like their self-esteem, like this whole title to be masculine? How do you think this touches onto their like a man's what's going on in their heads, how they feel, how they act,
If
how
you
they
have a
carry
strong
themselves?
woman there who supports you whatever you do, follows you whatever you do, I think that helps your head mentally as well. And it's the same for guys. If you have a guy that's there who is there for you mentally, physically, helps you, you know what I mean, then I think that helps. If that makes any sense? It does help your mental health, like how you feel and how you go about your day. If that person's there to support you, like if you're struggling, shit, cool, I got this exam, shit, I'm gonna, cool, don't worry, you got this. You need that little nudge sometimes, you know what I mean? Because you like, cool, when you get to a certain age, your parents can't really nudge you anymore. You get what I mean? You're growing adult now. But if you have a female there, or let me not say female, let me say companion. If you have a companion there that's doing that, what your parents used to do, like support you, nudging you, then that's a good thing. Like, that helps you. That helps you a lot. You know what I mean?
And they say that, I've heard, I don't know, like if everyone has heard this saying, but I've heard that they say sometimes guys want a girl who's like their mom, like not physically, but I mean in terms of like as a person, because like, you know,
The qualities.
yeah, the qualities in it, like, okay, even though society is changing things now, like that they're trying to make it different, having a housewife, but it's like, I'm real with you, like I've come from a Pakistani family, etc. My mom was a good woman, right? My mom obviously left school when she was younger, etc. And then once she left school, got whatever, you know, got married to my dad, etc. And you know what? She was always around for us. You know what I mean? Like cooking, cleaning our clothes, etc. And you know, I feel like that was something that was it was good. And you know, now society is changing. It's saying that why does a woman have to do that? Okay, a man can clean, a man can cook things and do stuff like that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it is nice that. I don't think it's a bad thing that a man goes out, you know, works his ass off, comes home, and then he comes home to his wife at home, and she's there happy, and she said, you know, have you had a long day? Here's some food, etc. And she's being good to him.
Rubs your belly.
Yeah, you know what I mean, like being good to you.
Hugs you, gives you kisses, all of that stuff.
They're trying to change that now, bro. But you know, it's good.
Now they're trying to change that.
It's a good feeling, man. You know what I mean?
Mental, yeah.
A woman should be a man's peace.
Yeah.
Be there.
Like you can go to her rant and she's just consuming everything. Like females are great listeners, bro. I just deeped it. Like females are actually good listener, and that's another thing as well. If a man is a good listener, that attracts a female even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's facts. Like that attracts a female even more. If you can, like, alright, cool. What's your name? Alright, my name is Shalissa. Alright, cool. Shalissa, what do you do? I work at this. Alright, cool. Get into the conversation now. Alright, cool. Oh, it was nice seeing you, Shalissa. Da da da. Cool. Another time, hey Shalissa, how was your job at da da da? Oh, you actually remember?
Yeah.
Right.
They're surprised.
Then they're surprised. You know what I mean? Because certain guys are just trying to get into your pants, bro. They're not even trying to look at you. But if you actually can deep what the girl's saying, taking what she's saying, they're gonna be attracted to you. Because what? Next time, yeah. What did you say about last time? Da da da. Oh, you actually remember? Okay. Then they're gonna give you a chance. You know what I mean? So it's more like. Females are great listeners. They're always going to listen to regardless. They take in everything. They take everything personal. You know what I mean? But if a guy's a great listener, that's a +1 on you. You know what I mean? If
It's
you
a
can be a
bonus.
great listener on a girl, +1. That's a way. That's a ticket in. Yeah.
Do you feel like men's mental health is spoken about enough? Like, do you feel like it's voiced enough, or is there still a stigma around it?
Nah, still. Well, I mean, nowadays, like now, recent times, it's been talking about more. You know what I mean?
Well, why is that?
I just think people are just bringing it up more. Like, I think it's just it's becoming more often that men are killing themselves.
I think they're making it harder for men though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I think they're making it harder for men. Like, okay, men's mental health matters, this, that. But you can't say this, you can't do that, etc. Right? Yeah. So, for example, like, okay, there's certain things you can't, a man can't say. For example, the way I was talking about the housewife thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if I say to a girl, right, in general, or with a group of girls, and I'm talking to them and say, you know what? Oh, I want a wife who's gonna be like this, right? Who's gonna be a good wife, and she'll look after my kids, etc. Automatically, oh, why do the woman have to be like that? No, I'm not saying that every woman has to be like that. I'm saying the wife I want has to be like that. Society is trying to tell me now how
You can't have that.
I can't have that because, oh, if you say that, you're trying to say that women should be at home. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the quality I look for in a woman, right, is that, right? Some guys like funny girls, I like funny girls, like intelligent girls, etc. But some people would say, oh, no, you know what? Because you're saying that, that means you think you're better than women. Why can't you be at home? Why can't you cook? Number one, I'm not the best cook in the world. I can cook, but
Nothing fancy.
You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Society is making it seem like that, and then you're getting in like that mentally will ruin someone as well because they've got certain opinions. What if a guy wants to have a housewife, but now he ends up settling for someone who doesn't really want because society told him that he can't have that housewife. Now they have an argument all the time, everything. He did get that girl who's not a housewife kind of girl or whatever. Now they have an argument all the time because subconsciously he didn't want that, right? But society told him he wanted that. Now he can't even deal with it no more. Now he's like, shit, and then he ends up taking his life for being mentally ill. Do you know what I mean? I feel like society is, that's the problem nowadays. They're saying mental health. When a guy says something, you can't say that. Cardi B can say that she drugged and raped men, but no, a guy says something wrong, anything about women, no.
Gets dragged.
Dragged in it,
by
bro.
his headpiece, bro. Dragged.
And I feel like it doesn't get spoken of, but I feel like there's that expectation that a man has to perform a certain way, like, and it's like in the black and white, as a man you're born without value. As a woman you're automatically born with value. If you're a woman and you're attractive, doors are automatically
Even if you
open
don't
for
know, even if you're not attractive, like
even if you're not attractive.
But it's not even about that. The attractiveness of a female, bro. It's the fact that they can come into this world, but they can bring another life into this world. You get what I mean? Without them, we can't bring lives into this world. So they automatically have value. Now it's you as a man that have to work to get value. You have to pattern up. You have to do certain stuff to get value. You get what I mean? You have to work, get money, be successful in life. You know what I mean? Act a certain way, do certain things just to get value in life. So women are naturally going to be born
Naturally
value,
just there.
because they can bring lives into this world. You know what I mean? They go through the madness. We go through madness, but they go through a madness as well. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it's equally as bad. Like men have to go through this, women have to go through this. But as a man, it's like you're born. It's like you're almost born with a checklist that you have to complete.
Yeah,
Like, you have the missions you have to do.
We're all born with debts. As a black man, we're all born with debts. I'll be so real.
Literally. So if as a man, if you're born and you have to meet this criteria, and a lot of men find it hard to do that, and that's where mental health comes to play. Once you've matched up to that criteria, why can't you now as a man be like, okay, I've got all these values, and I've created all this for myself. Why can I not ask for this female to come into my life with this? Because they're coming to you essentially. You are the goal. You are the target. Females will come to you. Why can't you now, like you said, why can't you ask for X, Y, and Z as a man? I want a female that can do this, but you get dragged for it.
I think you know what it is. It's you can't change people. Simple as that. And I realize that. Do you know what I mean? If you meet someone, people do personally develop, right? Yeah, like we all develop. I've developed in the past few years. Who I was before, I'm not the same person now. But the thing is, you know, someone can't really tell you to change and make you change. You know, you have to change yourself, and you can change yourself based on life experiences. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I say.
So, for example, like I could be with someone, right? And as I was saying, like, you know, you might want a housewife, but society is making you go for someone else. And now, because if you say I want a housewife, they're going to say, oh, look at this guy looking down on a woman, misogynist or whatever. But then you end up choosing someone, you can't even change them anyway, right? Because a person is always going to be how they are. A cheetah never changes its spots. Does that make sense? So I think that, you know, each person or men, you know, should be allowed to choose who their spouse is, right? Just because I might want a wife who's a good housewife and is a good mother to my kids and she's always there for them, and I'll say to her, hey, listen, don't worry, I'll bring in the money, you just chill, relax, right? And you know, and that might be my view, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Someone else can't tell me, right, whether it's a man or woman, that, oh, you can't say that because women don't have to do that. 'Cause I'm not saying all women have to be housewives. What I'm saying is, who I'm attracted to, or who what I would want potentially, is someone who's a good wife. And yeah, maybe someone, unless I'm super rich and I've got cleaners and cooks and etc., right? I still wouldn't have a nanny though. I believe that the mother to my kids and the woman who looks after my kids should be my wife, right? Because that's where that close bond is.
Yeah,
that's why some people like, they get be closer to their nannies than the actual mum, because it's the nanny that brought them up. You see it in the
Why you
movies.
get another person to raise your child? Like,
You know what I mean?
Just don't have a kid then, you're not ready.
yeah, if you don't want to raise your kid, don't raise your kid. But why would you get someone else that has no connection, no relation to your child to raise your child, so they can build a bond with that person and have no bond with you? So when you want to go spend time with your kid, they have no,
They don't know.
they literally have nothing in common with you because they don't know nothing about you. But they have more in common with the nanny because they're with the nanny every single day. Like, people do this. Like, I used to have a childminder when I was younger as well. But my mum, I always knew my mum was my mum. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I always knew my mum was my mum because I always spent a lot of time with my mum. Spent a lot of time with my dad as well. And even though they wasn't together, I didn't know that because that's how much I used to see them. They were both in my life. You know what I mean? So it's just a thing where it's just about having a good, like, stability, a stable family. Having a good, stable family is just a healthy way to go, really. Like,
Nothing can meet, whether it's beat mom or grandma's cooking. I never got to meet my grandparents, but that's what they're saying. Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard someone say nothing can beat dad's cooking? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I've heard that.
okay, well, I've heard dad's cooking. But majority of the time, it's usually mom's cooking. Like, that's always been it. And even with me, like, I could go to a restaurant, nice restaurant, but still, I think, yo, mom's cooking is the best. You know what I mean? Like, in my head, like, a curry your mom will make, right, is better than I can get at a restaurant. Does that make sense? And that's probably as well because it's the food I grew up with. My mom was cooking that. My dad didn't cook us anything, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But society is trying to make it seem like, yeah, why can't a man do that? Yeah, why can't a man do that? A man can do that, but I don't think there's a problem in a woman doing it. I don't think there's an issue with it. So I'm saying,
both my parents play the same boat. Like, they both cook, they both do the same stuff. You know what I mean? So they're both equal. So I've had both of their cookings, and
who's better?
I can say no offense, mum, but I think that's just a little bit better. I'm not saying that your cooking's bad. I'm just saying that dad's is a different level, and she even knows it herself. She even knows it because he grew up in a household with like my great grand. I met all of them as well. Literally, my great grand. She died recently as well, like 2-3 years ago. She's like 107 now. Literally.
Whoa, she lived a long life.
Long life, and I lived with my great grand.
She lived longer than the Queen.
And then my grandma, she's in America. See what I mean? So it's like I grew up in a household full of women that can cook. And then my dad, he just learned from them, like just watching them, like, you know what I mean? They taught him how to cook. So I think he's a better chef, if that makes any sense.
Would you agree that the way to a man's heart is to his stomach, though, as well? Do you think when a woman can cook good? Listen, when a woman can cook good, it kind of is like, oh my God, she's. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
I don't know about his heart though.
That's a big factor for me though.
It's
Like,
a factor, but I don't think it's the main thing. It contributes, but I don't think that's the overall.
It's a rare quality. Not every girl can cook good. Like
Every
that.
girl can cook.
for me, if you cannot cook, me don't want you. You have to make sure you say you can't cook, and you see. I want I don't want to be going and getting a takeaway every 2 seconds. I don't want to be going to Hakkasan or the Shard or KFC every 2 seconds. You know what I mean? I want some
Sit
proper
down,
home
cook
food.
something.
It's like my family, they've got this joke in the Asian community about this. This is quite funny. Okay, see, so basically, like, okay, see, Asian girls, like they're taught from a young age how to cook, etc. I think time training now, not every Asian girl knows how to cook, but a lot know how to cook, because I spend time with their mom, etc. as well, like in the kitchen when they're cooking, right? Even in like Pakistan or India, that's how it is, Black girls, a lot of them, I think they can cook. Now me, I've mainly been out with like white or Eastern European girls, Now, the Asian thing, no joke is if you marry like a white girl, she's probably a lot of white girls or Eastern European girls don't know how to cook. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for example, the joke is, oh, you're gonna marry a girl, she's gonna make you fish fingers on
roasted
beans and chips. You know what I mean? Yeah, because it's like the microwave food.
Yeah.
Right. So, based on that saying, I would say that even though it's a joke, I've been out with various white or Eastern European girls, and I've realized a lot of them, they do actually they can't cook, right? Like I'm talking, they prefer to go out and eat somewhere, or they make them like,
Ready
like
meals.
ready meals. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I have been out with some, like who I used to go out with someone from, I'm not going to say where from because whatever, but basically from an Eastern European country, and they could cook. It was like a rare thing. I was like, yo, she can cook. You know what I mean? Like it actually, even though everything else played a part, the fact that she could cook and she was a good cook,
It's a big attraction.
it attracted me more.
Big
Like,
attraction.
like I used to be like, yo, like I actually want to eat her food. You know what I mean? And I think it is a thing. Yeah.
So
Man
that
can cook
leads back
without
to the
a
question.
way.
That leads back to the question what you asked earlier. Yeah, I think food is a key to a man's heart. You know
Yeah,
what I
to a
mean?
man's heart.
Food is a key to a man's heart.
To everything, mate.
Yeah. All right, on to the next topic now. Toxic masculinity. Do we think it exists, and what is your understanding of it? That one there.
What is toxic masculinity?
That's what I'm asking you. What is your what is your
What is society what society is saying is toxic?
what is okay from what is society telling you that it is?
I think society is trying to say that a man's a guy is toxic if he doesn't want women to do certain things, or he's trying to be controlling, or etc. Right? I do feel like there is toxic masculinity, but I do feel that society is trying to make it so that
We can't express
we
ourselves.
can't and like what is it? You're insecure if you say that you don't want your girl to have guy friends, like loads of guy friends and chill with guys. Like, to be honest with you, for me, like okay, I've been with girls who have had only guy friends, right? And I've seen it as a bad experience, right? And for me, it's a red flag. And I'm not saying a girl can't have loads of guy friends. Have them if you want, but for me personally, I feel that it's not a toxic masculine trait to say I don't want that. I don't want that to be the case. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you're going out with a beautiful girl now, most of these guys probably do like her, right? If she's very attractive, listen, you don't see a beautiful girl and say I want to be a friend. You know what I mean? Like when you approach, I'm not saying every single guy doesn't want to be friends with a girl.
Yeah.
You could be friends in a class, etc. I've got friends who are girls, right? So I can say that. But if it's a very beautiful girl, a lot of the time, right, there will be guys, not every guy, there will be guys who would love to have sex with her, but they've been friend zoned. Right?
Yeah.
So they're just there,
So
waiting
they're
for their
just
turn.
and they're waiting.
My turn.
And she'll
my
say,
turn.
"Oh, I've had this problem or this has happened," and he's like, trying to wait for his turn and trying to get in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like and now they're making it seem like, oh, that's insecure. It's insecure for a guy to say that. Oh, no, I'd prefer if he didn't have only all guy friends, and I don't want you going out with your guy friends alone, like on a mad one, like, you know what I mean?
But these times she's like, oh, you don't want me going out, you don't want me doing this, and then he's just there putting little things in there. It's like, oh, fuck that.
Is that toxic? Is it insecure, or is it like you being caring?
Like, see, you want to be yourself. That like he's trying to put little needles in the pie. Just get it.
I had a bad experience here.
I've never had that problem, so I can't.
My bad experience was, for example, so so this girl, she had all guy friends, said I don't have girls. I didn't really give a fuck, like I was cool about it,
Yeah.
But after experiences, that's when you realize, okay, maybe this statement is true, right? But initially you don't realize that that's the case. So I was like, yeah, cool, whatever, yeah. Then she started coming back to me saying that, oh, people have told me that you're doing this, or for example, the fact that she said, oh, someone showed me that video. I go, who showed you that video? Then I find out it was the guys who showed her the video. So these guys were literally trying to tell her that, oh yeah, trying to lie as well.
They're sprinkling
Someone told me that you're talking to other girls. And then when I've gone down to the nitty gritty and I've gone in depth, who told her? My friends. Who's your friend? The guy friends. So all these guy friends, what are they doing is they want to fuck her, right? So they're basically not making it obvious. They're trying to say, we care about you, we're looking out for you, don't trust this guy. But really, that's not the fucking case.
What they do?
We want to fuck the shit out of you, but this guy's doing it right now. We wanted to break up with him, right? But we can't make it obvious, and that's it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like now if I say to a girl that was the case, based on my experience, me saying that I don't want a girl who's only got all guys as friends because she don't get along with girls, I don't think that's an insecurity. I think that it's based on my experience, and I can see it as a red flag. But society making it seem like toxic masculinity. Is it? Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know. What you told me?
So, do you guys actually know the definition, the actual definition behind toxic masculinity?
Nah, not really.
So, the definition behind it is when it refers to the notion of these three traits: so aggression, homophobia, and domination.
Okay.
So with that being said, what do you think about those things there? Do you think that's a thing that is seen a lot, that a lot of men carry?
So I can't lie, before I was waffling, but now I'm gonna be so real.
Yeah.
Now that makes sense, that actually makes sense. Like in terms of the homophobic like kind of stuff. Like, cool. Pretty much everything a straight man says, but in like aggressive way, comes off as homophobic, even if they don't mean it in that way. You know what I mean? It's just because they're just like they're just strong. Like they want to show that they're dominant, like they're strong. So that's their way of showing it. You get what I mean? But it may come off offensive to other people. You get what I mean? So I think that's my take on it. Like that's my view on toxic masculinity. Like Andrew Tate, perfect example. Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, literally.
What about you? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think toxic masculinity, I didn't realize that homophobia had something to do with it, but what I'd say is that a man being dominating and aggressive, what is that exactly? Right, yeah, what this society, is that what society deems it to be, or it's actually, he's an aggressive guy who's just who wants to hurt everybody, or etc., a woman, and he hates gay people or whatever, right? Or can you be toxic masculinity and not be homophobic? I think because they're still calling people who are toxic masculinity without being homophobic, innit?
Yeah.
Like nowadays,
that's what I just spoke on. Like literally what I spoke on. Yeah, literally.
See, with this one, I feel like it's very much like the lines kind of blur a bit, and it's hard to tell the difference. Like like what you just said, the whole with the mixture between homophobic and aggression, because a certain thing can be said and it can be taken across as aggressive, and because aggression's in it, and you're speaking on a key word, a key topic such as like like gay people, LGBTQ, that can come across as homophobic. So I feel like a lot of the time, men who carry these old masculine traditions or these masculine traits, because they speak so strongly on that view, and they now blur into the realm of talking about like people who have different sexual preferences, it now comes across as homophobia because they are the masculine men. That now I want to bridge off into a controversial figure. I don't know if you guys, I'm pretty sure everyone knows him, Andrew Tate. He's someone that fits this kind of narrative, and a lot of people don't like. So you know how we're talking about toxic masculinity, people can say that he may fit that narrative, and he tries to perpetuate that narrative even more. So like he'll say things like, if his fans will write to him and tell him, I'm going through this, and he'll always say something like, man up, like you're a man, you have a duty to perform. Yeah. So what are you guys' thoughts on Andrew Tate and his message, and do you think his message perpetuates toxic masculinity?
My thoughts on the top G. The top G is the top G, you know. Top G is the top G.
Top G is the top G.
Yeah, but he's a different kind of breed. Like in terms of like earlier we spoke about like the whole like with men's mental health and crying, etc. and stuff like that. He like I seen a podcast of him being on there and going, man up, stop being a bitch. Why are you crying? Go buy a Bugatti. Like bro, like that's mental. Like how you gonna tell a man to man up when they're crying, bro? Like it's certain situations, you know what I mean? Or if he's in the wheelchair, man up. Come on, like it's just ridiculous. Like it's so stupid, but he's just Guess no more about the Top G. The Top G is the Top G.
With Andrew Tate, I'm gonna be real with you, yeah? Okay. I am a big fan. I won't lie about that. There was a video that went viral where I got asked about who inspires me, or who's my role model, and I said, obviously I'm Muslim, I said Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is my role model, right? I said, but someone who inspires me right now is Andrew Tate. Now, this did go viral, and people, girls coming up to me, saying to me, oh, you spoke about Andrew Tate, this, that, said he's your role model. I go, I never said he's my role model. I said he does inspire me, right? Why? Because he's a 4-time world kickboxing champion. He was broke, he became a multi-millionaire, has 26 supercars, lives in a $48 million mansion in Dubai, right? He's absolutely killing life, and he could easily, as he said in a video the other day, I could easily have sex with beautiful girls, drive supercars, and I don't have to tell you any information at all, right? And I could live my life, but I find it my duty to at least tell you, educate people, and that's the best word here, educate you guys into becoming successful individuals. Now, he's right where he's saying, okay, certain things I don't agree with that Andrew Tate says, right? Yeah. So, for example, the fact that I said, look, okay, I've got friends as girls. He said, I don't have a girl as a friend at all, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, but I've got loyal friends who are girls as well. But what I will say is that the thing about him is the information he gives is like basically, see when he's saying, oh, man up. He's trying to say that, look, no one's gonna feel sorry for you. Like, sometimes you need someone to tell you. It's like, you know when you're in the gym and you're doing press-ups.
Yeah.
Come on, man, you got this. For example, yeah, like if I'm in the gym now and I'm training and I'm struggling, come on, bro, you got this, man. I believe in you. I don't want to give up at school, right?
Yeah.
That ain't gonna motivate me. So come on, bro, you got this, man. Push, man. 1 more, 2 more. Come on, you got this. It's all in the mind. Push. When you hear that, you're gonna be like that. And I think basically Andrew Tate is being a sort of
conscience in the back of your head.
Yeah, so he's being that motivational speaker, but he's using a different way to do it because, like, he knows everything else is rinsed out. This whole, you can do what you want, believe in yourself. What did he say in one video? Yeah, I don't want to waffle on too much, but basically, he says in a video, and this is when I realized from which perspective, in terms of the motivation, where he's coming from. Yeah. Because he's very satirical, right? Yeah. Andrew Tate saying, look at me, I've got all these cars, I've got these beautiful women, models, I'm on yachts, I'm flying on private jets, I'm smashing it. You have a duty as a guy to go out there and smash life too. Listen, you'll never get to where I am, but it's your duty as a man to go and try. That's the same as saying, listen, I believe in you, you can go and smash it, go out there, smash your life off, you can do whatever you want, you can travel the world. People have heard that so many times that it's not gonna like...
It's a bit washed out.
But now he's going around a different route. He's taking the piss basically and saying, look at me, I'm top G, I'm doing this. But really, he actually cares about you. He's acting like I don't care, but he does care because he's giving you the information. He's saying you can do it. So I feel like that was his alter ego. Like that's, what do you think?
I honestly think like...
I was passionate about that, yeah.
The top G is the top G. The top G is the top G. The top G, that man. You can't say no more. Yeah.
I feel like with me, I'm not even. There's so much that can be said about this topic, but I'm not gonna go. Otherwise, I'll be here all day. But I'll just briefly say, I agree with a lot of the things he says. But obviously, if you're looking at it from the inside out, you gotta take everything with like almost like a pinch of salt. Like you can't just look at everything he says and just take it in as that's him. You need to understand the bigger message behind it. Like if you're a man that wants to perform well and wants to see the success of life and the wide scale of life and grow, you need to look at the deeper meaning of what he's saying. And most of them, I feel like his approach is just like he's got a hard-footed approach. He's like the big brother. Like he's gonna tell you how it is, and you know it's true. And a lot of the time, people find the truth uncomfortable, and that's why a lot of people are the way they are, and that's why a lot of men find it hard to be a man. Because the society has such a pressure on men
fragile.
Everything's fragile now. Like we're in like people, what they call it? We're in the snowflake era where you can't do or say things. You know what I mean? Everything's censored now. Yeah. So as a man, I feel like this new era has like made it even harder for men's mental health to be a good man, not just a man, but a good, successful man.
And you know what? Thinking of Andrew Tate, I was just thinking of something. Okay, we're talking about crying as men. Yeah. Okay. I think this situation, we have to think about this now. Okay, Andrew Tate's been arrested in Romania, right? Yeah, he's been arrested, right? Based on allegations that we don't actually know are true, right? Yeah. I myself I don't believe they're true, right? And I hope they're not true, right? Yeah. But what I'll say is, if Andrew Tate now on his way to court, right? Yeah. When he did that screenshot of going to court, or when he was in handcuffs, when he got arrested, if he was there with tears in his eyes, crying, do you think he would still have that same? Even though some people would respect it and say, "Oh, you know what? He's crying. I understand." Most won't. You'd lose that perception of Andrew
that
Tate,
respect.
strong guy, 4-time world kickboxing champion. Look at him. You know what makes Andrew Tate even more who he is? The fact that you know the man. I know it sounds crazy, but okay, it's not about
like you
fighting.
know him.
Huh?
You feel like you know him.
Feel like you know him, and look, he's a 4-time world kickboxing champion. You know this guy ain't talking shit. You know he can, like, even though it's not about fighting, whatever. But when a guy can fight, it's impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know a man can fight. You're like, yo, this guy, and you know in your head, yo, this guy's a 4-time world kickboxer, man. It's you can't have it off, and you're like, yo, I rate him, man. And as I said, I don't agree with everything he says, but that's something that I said. What do you think about that when I said about the crying? If Andrew Tate was crying, would we see in the same way?
No, we wouldn't.
You wouldn't, innit?
And it goes back to what you were saying at the start about as a parent, you look up to your parent. You wouldn't want to see them in that vulnerable state. So it kind of plays into that as well.
That's what I'm trying to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But when you put it like that, innit? It's
You're
like,
like, oh, okay, cool.
I'm gonna just leave off with the final points, just to summarize the main thing that we're talking about. But with the whole men's mental health and depression, linked back to Andrew Tate, one of his most controversial statements was that he stated that depression isn't real, and that was like one of the biggest things that he said that did cause a lot of upset and a lot of conversations to be started. Some people agree and some people don't. So between you two, where do you stand?
I think that I don't agree with that comment. I'm gonna be so honest. There's certain things that he says that I don't agree with. That particular comment, I don't agree with it. Like, I don't agree with it. Every guy, every person, every human has depression or some forms of depression in their life, whether that's you're going through grieving stage, or whether you're going through something hard in your life. Everyone gets depressed, you know what I mean? Like, especially with us, man, we do social media. Obviously you get depressed if we're working so hard to do videos, and then, for example, when my account got deleted, when my main account got deleted, I was depressed for a while, because that's my main income. That's where I'm making all my money from. That's where all my joy, all my hard work, and all my time has been going into. So with a click of a button, that's gone. That sent me into depression mode. You get what I mean? That sent me straight into depression mode, bro. So I'm just like, oh shit, cool. We just go on a flight and go book somewhere and go on a holiday, fix up, come back, be myself again. You know what I mean? So depression does exist, especially in the social media world. If you're doing videos and you expected it to do a certain amount, and it doesn't do that certain amount, you're naturally going to be depressed, because you're like, raw, this is a video that should be doing that amount. Like, it should have been doing this number of views, and it's not. So, like, everybody has their form of depression, you know what I mean? And especially because we do, we're creators, we do content online, we make videos online, funny videos, whether that's food or food reviews, or that's skits or whatever, yeah? Depression is behind all of, behind everything. Like, it's the main thing behind everyone's work in the media world. Like, it's real. It's completely real. And I don't agree with what Andrew Tate said. It's bullshit.
yeah, I agree. Like, that's what I was saying, that with Andrew Tate, although I agree with a lot of things that he says, there are things that he said that I don't agree with. And depression, the fact that he says it's not real, I disagree with that. I've been through it myself more than once in my life. You know what I'm saying? There's been times when I'm Muslim, right? Yeah. And although there's like some negative perceptions that in Islam people commit suicide or whatever due to like these radical people. Really, in Islam, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to take your own life, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, if it hadn't been for Islam, I probably would have taken my life, and I'd say that right now. If it hadn't been for Islam, I probably would have committed suicide years ago, bro. As I said, I was homeless when I was 17. I've had a hard life, and you know what? There's been times when I felt like giving up, but I just told myself, I'm ready to go to hell, right? Like, if I'm gonna kill myself, that's it. I'm done. And that's what kept me going. And I believe that depression is real. Like, people go through a lot of shit, and people do commit suicide. That's what we're talking about, mental health. People commit suicide. So for me, like, my religion saved me, right? But when someone goes, like Andrew Tate, for example, when he's saying that it's not real, I think he just probably hasn't really been through it. And you never know, he could go through it right now because he's in
This
prison,
situation
maybe,
he's in, yeah.
But we don't know, he might not. But he can't go back on his word now, can he? Or
Yeah.
will he? You never know. So I can't say that. I'd love to ask him in person one day. You never know. What's that?
That's if he gets released.
If he gets
Yeah.
released.
Free Top G.
Well, yeah, that's a powerful stuff. A lot of different opinions, contrast. It's been lovely. But on that note, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap it up here.
Amazing.
It's been amazing. It's been nice to know both of you. For the audience, how can we reach you on social media? What are your handles?
So my name is Naveed Central. The way we say it is Naveed Central. Yeah. Basically NAVEED Central. So it's Naveed Central 1 on Instagram, Naveed Central on YouTube, Naveed Central on TikTok, Naveed Central on Snapchat if you want to add me. And yeah, my guy here.
Yeah, with me it's just R19 and it literally I have the tattoo 19, so just put an R beside the 19 on any platform you find me. So Instagram R19 official, TikTok R19_talk, Snapchat R19_snap, Facebook R19YMB, literally. So just put an R beside the 19, you find me on any platform.
Before we go, can I ask you why it's on 19?
90 is my lucky number. That's my football shirt number. So
Okay, interesting.
so
interesting.
yeah, literally just kept it as that. Yeah.
Okay, hear that, hear that.
Lovely, guys. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh,
It's
thank you
been
for having us.
great having you both as guests. Hopefully, come back in the future, have more to talk about.
Definitely.
World changing. Wish you best in all your endeavors. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end, big appreciation, and we will catch you in the next one.